We're with manager Phil Parkinson after a really impressive 3-1 victory over Alfreton here at the J. Davison Stadium. Phil, first half in particular was so impressive, particularly given the conditions.
It was a game of two halves from our point of view. I felt first half we were extremely clinical, played some outstanding football, and then second half we showed that we can keep a team out because we knew they were going to come out of second half, and they certainly had a little go. But I felt we weathered the storm really well. And like I said, I'm disappointed we didn't keep the clean sheet because I think they've had 2 shots and one's gone in, and both attempts were from their forward. So it's very disappointing the fact that that's all a team needs in terms of that opportunity to score a goal. But I felt the back four were immense today in terms of they were very composed, didn't panic, moved the ball well under pressure. Midfield competed exceptionally well, really good on the ball again, the quality was there, and the front line were very, very clinical. So a good day all round. Obviously Jordan getting on the score sheet, Owen getting his first goal, and again Max, although we brought him off, thought he was outstanding again today, but so were there more. You don't get a result like that against a very good Alfreton team without everybody turning up and doing the jobs as we've asked.
Fair to say the conditions weren't exactly made for football. I mean, it must have been really difficult. I mean, I guess a few things surprised you about this team, but were you surprised that they were able to make light of the conditions so impressively in that first half?
Well, I think it sort of benefited us a little bit because if you're very direct and it's a windy day, the ball's not going to be on the pitch very long, whereas I felt we played to the conditions as well as our strengths. And that's why we scored so early on. We created really good opportunities, but if we weren't that clinical, it could have been a very long day at the office because obviously they came, they pushed on. But I feel in this team we do have that player who can finish a game off, and it makes all the difference when you're able to do that. And it really just give them an uphill mountain to climb. Really, when you're 3 up away from, when you're 3 down away from home, it's a real tough ask for any team to come and get anything. So for me at half time, it was an exercise of obviously maintaining the lead but keeping the back door shut, which unfortunately we didn't do. But I don't think it was a negative with regards. The players still defended really well. It's just unfortunate that sometimes that happens, one opportunity, one goal. So, like I said, I was really pleased with the game all round today.
You say clinical, and they were all 3 goals. They were clinical finishes, but it was more than that, wasn't it? All 3. You could. There's something to admire about the build-up play, wasn't there?
Yeah, I'll just single Owen out a little bit. I thought he's probably had one of his best games he's had for us, particularly in the first half. He looks a real threat. He looked dangerous. He looks like his confidence is back up. And I'm sure if Crew Alex are watching him, which I've no doubt they will be, performances like that will do him the world of good to get him back to where he wants to be.
There were all 3 good goals. I mean, was the one? Would you pick one out as the best? Because you did. I think if you asked a straw poll of 20-30 people, so you might get different answers for which one was that took the eye the most.
They were all good. I particularly liked the second one where Owen slid Jordan through. Really unselfish play. Weight of pass was perfect, and Jordan was extremely clinical. But they tried to press us quite high up the pitch because obviously we were getting out, and when Connor Hampson comes inside from the full-back position and pulls them out of positions that they don't really want to go into, which opened up for Tony to exploit a gap into the centre mid that he dropped it in nicely. And then, like I said, the forward play, we give them the instructions to get them up to that final third, but then that's a skill in itself. When lads are in around that final third, it's not always something you can coach. You can talk to them about runs and passes, but when they get in there, it's solely down to them to go and finish off, and they did that with aplomb today.
You mentioned Max Harrop, and I think when we had a chat after the last home game, I think tenacious was one of the words that was used to describe him. But for just sheer skill, some of the things he did this afternoon were remarkable, weren't they?
Yeah, he's easy on the eye, let's say that, but he's obviously ferocious in a tackle, so he's got a real nice blend. And if I was coming watching a game and I was looking for a player, then Max would be certainly someone who catches my eye every time because he gives everything on the pitch, he leaves nothing behind, he wears his heart on his sleeve. But when people say that about players, they can be associated with just workhorses. He works his socks off. But as you said, he's very easy to watch, and he can create things out of nothing. And sometimes we have to put the reins on him and calm him down with regards to what we want him to do in certain areas of the pitch, because he can beat a player, and sometimes he doesn't need to beat a player. He needs to keep it simple, and he's really added that to his game.
And for touches of the ball, I think probably Shawn Williams would have been out on his own, not for the first time, by a considerable distance. He's involved in everything, isn't he?
Yeah, hey, we could go around every single player, but again, that midfield in particular is the reason they play every week at the moment, because they've been very consistent. We've been right at it in terms of defensively today, which is something I've been posing question marks to the players for the last couple of weeks. Even though we've still shipped a goal there, I think we look so much more solid than we did at the start of the season. So for me, the progression from, let's say, for example, the Spennymoor game, I think if we have defended like we have today against Spennymoor, we win that 4-0, and look how high they are in the table. And I've said all the way, we've got the potential of being a very good team at this level, but potential means nothing if you don't realise it. So we've been heavily analysing what we need to work on, and I think it's evident for everyone to see. It's the defensive side of the game, and I'd like to think everyone can see that that's actually happening. So it's everyone's really positive at the moment and happy with the way the ship's going.
Really big game at Stockport County next week, obviously in the FA Cup. Given the performance and result last week and this afternoon, do you sense we're building up a bit of momentum, and it can't do confidence any harm, I wouldn't have thought?
No, when you're winning, it breeds confidence. Obviously, Stockport County is a massive, massive game at this level. They're obviously a huge club, probably or arguably shouldn't be at this level. They should be in the Football League, in my opinion. Jim Gannon's an extremely experienced manager, someone I've got a lot of respect for. So I'm going to have to be at my best as well as the players on the pitch being at theirs. Myself and Neil and the rest of the management team and medical staff and players will prepare to our maximum to make sure that we're able to put a good show of ourselves and really give them a game. Because it's going to be difficult. I know everybody's saying we've been great away from home, but Stockport County at home is not an easy fixture. It's a very challenging one, a difficult one, but it's one we're relishing. As I said last week, we're steeped in FA Cup history, and we want to make our little bit of history with this football club as a team and a management team and all the staff.
It's a trip to Edgeley Park, isn't it, next Saturday? But our away form's so good, they shouldn't hold any fear, should it?
As I said, we're relishing the challenge and we can't wait to get it on.
Just finally, Phil, the substitution of James Jones, did he have a slight knock?
Yeah, it's a precautionary one. He slightly went over on his ankle at half time. I didn't want to risk him, so I said if it felt uncomfortable to come off, and it also give Liam an opportunity that I know he's been dying for, to come on and get a little bit of football again, because Liam's been ever so professional. He's been outstanding for the football club since he's come in. He was probably number one at the start of the season, unfortunately lost his position, and the other two, probably because Liam was so good at the start, have been playing out the skin. So with the talent we've got on the bench, I have no problem bringing subs on. I mean, you see James Poole, who would be an automatic name on the sheet last season, has obviously been injured, and he's fighting tooth and nail to get back in the team, and you can see that. And obviously Josh Hancock and all the rest of the boys who weren't in the squad or didn't get on. So you're looking at the squad today. Sean Densmore wasn't in the squad. Simon Richmond wasn't in the squad because the boys have won. So it's fiercely competitive, but it gives me good headaches, but easy ones when they win and play well.
Great stuff, Phil. Thanks for that. Those are thoughts then of Phil Parkinson on what's been a great afternoon for Altrincham. It's finished Altrincham 3, Alfreton 1.